So, good morning. I'm Hamson. Hi.
Hi, morning.
So I'm gonna start with the interview question. So thank you. We really appreciate your help. And first of all, may I know your nationality? Like, are you Indonesian or Filipinos?
I'm Indonesian.
Oh, okay, Indonesian. So how long have you been working in Hong Kong as a domestic helper? May I know?
Uh, I started 2006 till today.
Oh, 2006. Okay. So throughout your working experience in Hong Kong, may I know that how have you ran into any challenges caused by language barriers, like specifically about language?
As for myself,
Yeah.
I don't have. Yeah, for myself, I don't have because first I was working in Singapore earlier, and I myself also taken the course when I was in Indonesia. So I take the course for English itself for another 1 year, and for the Cantonese, I'm learning in Hong Kong by Kung Kung. The grandfather taught me.
Oh, okay.
So directly learning is not learning by doing, and at the
Oh,
same time watching the show for the television.
oh, I see. So is your employer help you to learn Cantonese?
Yeah.
Oh, because usually what we interviewed other domestic helpers, they usually said like the employer not helping them to learn any language at all, or even like if they want to spend some extra time on learning Cantonese, they are bad at it because because they just don't support them.
Yeah. I think it's because the newcomer. Because last time my old days is a different state. My old days we have to learn basic Cantonese is very less, but this time the industry getting better, so our country having different regulations. So each of us before they enter the industry, they have to make sure pass the test for the Cantonese test, at least for the daily basic communication. And they have to take the test for 2 months in order to pass. It's not only the test active, but also passive. That means when they um, attempt, the employer asking them or order them to do something, they understand. So they encourage them to do this, and we have the training center special for the Cantonese training. So
Oh,
that's why if you think that the big difference, because nowadays they have to pass the test before the industry, and the employer itself also already set of the mind that I hire you, you already knows about Cantonese, at least the basic Cantonese.
oh, I see. Because this is new for us because we interview quite a lot of people.
Yeah,
They
so
didn't
that's why
mention about this.
yeah, it's something that's maybe you guys didn't notice it or didn't know about the process. So if now employer getting more, they thought that, oh, I expect you already know Cantonese. It's because during the process they had it.
Oh, okay. I see. So regarding the training or the test, do you really think that if they really pass the test, is it like it means does it mean that it's okay for them to really communicate like fluently or having no miscommunication with their employers?
It's not totally, because
Mm.
first thing I have to tell, this is only the formally regulations that
Yeah.
make sure this fellow is being ready to the industry. And at the same time, because we need to cope up ourselves, we also have to upgrade for our knowledge through other methods. So when we were in Indonesia, also encouraged us to speak more and through the conversation. But most of them, they still dub themselves and insecure because they are not non-native speaker. So that's why they also did not still having that kind of dub. Is it right? How to pronounce it correctly? So more after years later, maybe they came to Hong Kong, and some of the employer quite talkative. They they learn more from the kids. They learn more from the maybe the grandparent who would like to encourage them to speak more. But some of the Hong Kong people, maybe they also busy with their work. They came back during the night, so the meeting time with the helper itself is very less time. I don't think so they got time to talk to. They rather to use the message, a voice notes, or using the English session through the chats. So this is the key, actually, the key point. Why is it the helpers, the less spoken? Why they can't have the courage, or they don't have courage to speak more? It's because the environment didn't help them to develop. This is what the key,
Oh, I see. So
in
it's
my
about,
opinion.
yeah, of course. So it's about the working environment for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, so that's it for the, I guess, language barrier challenge part. So
Mm.
can I ask something about the supports? Like, do you know what support has been provided by the government or NGOs to alleviate the language barriers thing?
Oh, this time a lot. This time a lot. These
Oh,
days a lot. A lot of NGOs provided the course, free course, or even payable course. That's mean we still could afford it. So some of them they doing have the English course, even Cantonese course, even Mandarin. So short course,
yeah.
the short term. And some of them they also provide the certificate. Some of them are not. So depend on your needs.
So from the NGOs, right?
Yep, from the NGOs.
Then how about the government? Do you know like any supports provided by the government?
Uh, From the government itself, I didn't find yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so pretty similar with
Uh,
what we.
no, wait,
Mhm.
wait. I think 2 years ago, our government, Indonesian consulate, they've got provide short course, but no one interested in Cantonese course. Maybe because the instructor is not is purely Hong Konger, so we have difficult to translate. Maybe this part. We need a translator.
Oh, okay. So it's from the Indonesian government. So how about the Hong Kong government?
Hong Kong government, I didn't find yet until
Oh,
today.
yeah. So
So we
because
rely on ourselves, yeah, rely on the NGOs helps, yeah. For the government, Hong Kong government, I didn't find yet until today.
yeah, because we interviewed quite a lot of people. They said they have no support from the
Yeah,
government.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we don't have support from the government. So about the NGO support, do you think that those support are enough to like solve the problem, or they could do a little bit more, you think?
Actually, enough or not enough, I could not say enough
Oh,
because the newcomer always will coming back, and this one, the problem actually is not only from the help or provider, but also from the helper itself. Because the candidate, they should to account themselves that they before enter Hong Kong itself or enter the industry, they should to tell themselves the first language in Hong Kong is Cantonese. No matter how good your English, you still have to put the first language dialect in the country that you work for. That's the point. And to set off this mind is not easy.
oh,
So actually, the developer should came from ourselves first and the provider. So they know what you need most. But if from yourself, just like this, I give you some point. There's a lot of Indonesian helpers also nowadays. They knows how to speak English, even they fluently speaking. So they rather to choose that. I rather to take off the job from the Westerners. I don't want to take job from the Chinese. It's quite choosy because they seem like they're upgrading themselves, and I don't need the Chinese. It's the same, just like the Hong Konger people. Even though they know how to speak English well, even they understood English, they rather to use the Cantonese. So it's about a preference. But as for me, in my opinion, it's not the bad thing when you take and learning something new. So this is what I'm doing right now through the social media platform, is to encourage all, mostly my fellows domestic helpers, especially Indonesia. That's you have to challenge yourself
Yeah.
to take up something new.
I see.
This one, you can't say that this is important, this is not important. Both are important. English or Cantonese is important and needed. And nowadays you should to expand yourself even into Mandarin. You know, Mandarin everywhere also. Even now read as second languages in the world. So why not you try to get the new one? So we have to encourage them also. It's not only the provider, it's not only the helper, it's not only the employer itself or working environment, but if we really
Sorry. Okay, Michael.
Hello, countries. Right, yeah, the network is. Okay.
Let's see. Oh, no.
Sorry, the network just now is a bit.
yeah. So
low,
I think I thought it's mine.
Yeah, we were just talking about the you've just talking about the domestic workers in Hong Kong should learn both language and stop with the network. You can continue if you want to.
Okay. If you're asking me about enough or not enough, the provider, if we could not say enough, because through the learning journey, it should be accessible for everyone. And I think itself also the most important from the ourselves itself, that we have courage ourselves to take up the new thing and to keep learning. But if this point we didn't have it, so even how much the provider you provide for them is not going to be used. This is a point for me. Yeah.
I see. So it's not only about like particular about the provider, but everyone have to like put some effort in alleviating.
Yeah. It's not because of the limited source, I think. It's because of the preference.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, I think it's not because of the limited source. Nowadays, if we are speaking about the source, you can learn by YouTube, you can learn by apps, even the English, not a lot of apps. And the mindset built up from our Indonesian helpers mostly, especially even through the English itself, is they would like to be known as a native speaker. So this is the wrong part learning point as for me, because when you are learning about the languages, it's not only know how to speak, but you also understand what you speak. You have to know when it's going to be used and when it is not. And some of them, the point that's because we are ethnic minority and we are from Southeast Asia, that's which is you should know Indonesian language mostly. English is very less. So they tend to be more Westernese rather than Chinese, mostly of them. Nowadays, the newcomer mostly. This is what after been more than 20 years, I'm here, I'm meeting some of the newcomer, most of them.
I see. So about, I guess about the support, like everyone have to do their part as well. And
yeah, everyone has.
We actually got, I think our interview is coming to an end, and we have a question about, this should be the one last question, I guess, because we are planning to do like establish a platform for Indonesian domestic helpers only, like mainly me and Michael is going to like provide some information, because our previous domestic helper always say that they can't receive any information or read any information provided by the government or whatever information related to them because they couldn't read it. So we are planning to like coming up with a platform to provide information for them. So I'm wondering like what kind of information do the Indonesian domestic helper need the most, do you think?
Well, sorry, because actually it's not say they couldn't find. If for the information itself, I would like to say now Hong Kong government's upgrading a lot, including for the immigrations channel itself. From the YouTube channel, they already put the subtitle Bahasa.
Oh.
They started from 2016. They at first those the informations is only through English and Cantonese and Mandarin. But these days they put a subtitle Bahasa. I think maybe after my video getting viral and they also get through to my channel, I think, because mostly my channel also speaking about the informations about regarding the legal act, about the employment contract and how which one is done, which one is done. So that's why maybe certain point then they're upgrading themselves, they put subtitle Bahasa. This one is already had. If they say they couldn't find a platform, this is such an excuse actually.
Oh.
Nowadays the platform a lot, but you guys, our guys, domestic helpers itself didn't have any interest to find the information.
Oh.
So but it's not bad if you guys to try to provide the platform. I also agree with that.
Oh.
It's helping me a lot.
Oh.
Because you know I start to put the platform, I start to making the platform for the information mostly regarding the legal act, regarding all the employment contract, regarding how to be a good helpers and how to be a good employer. At least that's win-win solution. This one I started 2016 until today. So if you guys making that kind of platform, such a good idea.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
really
depend
sweet.
on your major. If you guys maybe a majority in a language session, you can make a kind of short conversations, how in polite way, how in a nice way, put it in nice way, you can put up that kind of platform. Or else if you guys have that kind of majority for the law, you can talk about the law. You
Oh.
can break down for the law, for the this one, for the legal act, for the ID 407, and then about the regarding the new issue, the new issue from the government, you can upload it. So it's a good help. You guys good help, because nowadays the doing this is not only you, a lot.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, even Hong Kong University itself also nowadays encourage us to join the course with them during the short course of 6 months about I think it's generally it's about the finance management, language, including writing, and then skills. They provide us now. They support us.
I see. So about like teaching them basic communication or about
Yeah,
legal laws
yeah.
about them. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and this one basic communication, you can both way. You are not only focusing on the helpers itself, but you also could teach them your people also.
Mm.
So that's why both way, in
Yeah.
Cantonese, in English. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, okay. That's sweet. Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Michael, do you have anything like further to
And
ask or follow up?
Yeah, I think it's all good. Yeah, thank you for your time, Contrast.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 'cause
I
actually
think
I'm not sure if I pronounced your name correctly. Is it contract?
it's fine. You can pronounce it contrang.
I'm just like being afraid that I pronounce it incorrectly.
Yeah, because I also sorry that you approached me through YouTube. I seldom
Yeah,
read
yeah.
the comment.
Yeah, because I just finished watching the video that you had with Golden. So yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's such a
see. Yeah.
YouTuber that our generation will usually watch. So yeah.
Because
Yeah, thank you
nowadays
very much.
Hong Kong itself also the new nowadays the new generation is different because they quite open up to us. Last maybe the old people is not, but true for the long term, because Hong Kong itself they unable doing something without helpers. Seriously, because the living cost and then the living style itself, it's tied us. And I think now there's also shortcome about the domestic helpers itself, shortage. But in my opinion, it's not shortage of the manpower, shortage the quality, in my opinion, because during I was here 2006. I'm being a domestic helper since 2001. So I know what is the difference right now. We are not lacking for the source of the manpower, but we are lacking for the quality of the manpower. This is what I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, maybe an extra question regarding to the information provided to the Indonesian foreign domestic helpers. You mentioned that there's a lot of actually sources from the government, from the NGO, or from yourself, that tell the foreign domestic helpers the laws and everything, the welfare that is relevant to them. But would you say is a bit fragmented, like there isn't one platform or one package that puts everything together? Like there's bits information all around, but there isn't a group of information that goes together. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. So, because nowadays, we try to specifically for the platform, right? So I myself, I just specifically for the legal act. But nowadays, in my Facebook itself, because I divide into two, there is a page and there is only my own platform. For the page, I try to put on all the legal act, regarding all the legal act and the law. But for my own Facebook, there is a lot of things I need to mark up. Nowadays, I just encourage them for the mental. So the mental and the mental health issue, and how to manage the emotions and well-being. Nowadays much more campaigns on this point, because after the COVID after the breakdown of COVID-19, a lot of things changed. I found out a lot of things that actually the problem is not only because of the key point is not only your earning or what you are doing here, but the key point is how you manage the emotions and your well-being, especially from the helpers. It's not only from the employee, but I rather to focus from the helpers. We came up from the country that's full of problem from themselves and from the society. So then they come to Hong Kong, they will get the shock, especially the culture shocks and the also the habits, everything they changed, and some of them they couldn't take it. So this point make me realize that I should campaign this point rather than legal act and the language itself. So make it balanced. And you guys nowadays, a lot of the youngsters helping us a lot also through the online, offline. Nowadays, a lot of you guys helping us.
Okay. Well, I think that's most of it. I think that's all of our questions for the interview. Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Next time
Yeah.
after you launch your platform, I will help you to promote it.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah. Because them itself also, it has the platform for the translate for the Indonesian need help. Also, they have it also.
Okay. Yeah, so just a bit of information about our project, because well, our project is actually collaborating with a university in Spain as well.
Mm.
So we are
Mhm.
sort of like comparing the policy both in both nations if there are enough, and we want to learn from each other. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's good.
we're looking forward to share some of our insights and findings after our uh presentation is finished.
Yeah, it's good. But most from all those country, I could say Hong Kong is the best. The regulation Hong Kong is
Oh,
the best. Yes, Hong Kong is the best
that's
because if I compare, you guys haven't compared yet within Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei Darussalam, and those Southeast Asia country which is hiring a domestic helper, especially because we are live in for the domestic workers, which is a formal side, also totally different. But most of all, because why Hong Kong is the best? Because Hong Kong they provide all the information easily, open up informations. And secondly, Hong Kong has the ID 407, the employment ordinance and the employment contract. This is the best, which is in other country maybe we could not get it for the domestic helpers.
I see. Such a
Yeah.
compliment. Yeah. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah. I always said that if you would like to work as a domestic helper, I say choose Hong Kong. Hong Kong is the best, which is the uh the supporting for the law is really good. Only depend on you how you communicate well, and you have to understand where is your right, where you stand. So that's why I firmly campaign for this part for my fellow domestic helpers to
Yeah, I
courage
see.
to pop up their courage to know how to speak up.
I see. Yeah, so like the information is already there. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of how to communicate and how to, bridge between the
Yeah.
parties. Okay, right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. So
Gotcha.
that's why I said Hong Kong is still the best.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, of course, like I think like even though you said Hong Kong is the best option, I think we should definitely there's some
Yeah, Hong Kong
things
is
to
the best
improve.
options. Yeah.
I
Only
think
one
that
thing, the lag is only they didn't put the resting hour. But in Turkey, the contract they put the resting hour for it at least 8 hours. Now this one only like this one.
okay, right. Yeah, of course, like the city has to improve in
Yeah, but
terms of the
but
law.
if we put on that one, I know that it's hard to change because if we put some of the clause there, that's we have to crack down to the employment ordinance. It's not easy.
Right. I hope there was some changes
Yeah,
later.
I hope so. I also hoping, but just like live in as an option or this kind of thing. That's I know that is hard, but we still has to speak up on it.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Well, very last questions
Yep.
about Hong Kong itself. Do you like living in Hong Kong or working in Hong Kong in general?
Yes, in general, yes. Actually, especially me because I like adventure. I like challenge. So this is my personal. So that's why when I'm working in Hong Kong every 2 years, I change employer. While in Singapore, I only one employer by 5 years. But then in Singapore, because that's a jumping stone for me. From the start, mindset is, oh, from Singapore, it's jumping stone. That's I gain the experience. After I gain the experience, I could work in Hong Kong, and I also would like to keep learning. So after every 2 years, I changed employer. I didn't stay for more than 2 years because I like the challenge.
Mm,
And uh, but then all over, I love to stay in Hong Kong because I could express myself. I could express what in my mind, what my thought. And in Hong Kong, they give you freedom of speech. This is the best part. Even earlier, I would like to try in Canada, and got some of my friend also keep asking me, why don't you come out to Canada? But then I think about it. No, I am still I still love Hong Kong more.
okay, yeah, right. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, so I think like that's most of it. That's almost the end of our interview. So once again, thank you for your
I
time.
also thanks to you guys approaching me and
Thank you very
looking
much.
forward for your platform, looking forward for your project.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much
Okay.
for the advice.
Okay,
So,
thank you very much.
well, sorry, very last point, because the content of our interview and other findings will be published anonymously. 即係冇你個名
It's okay.
on
It's
some
fine. The worst thing that is I could not record it on myself.
well, we can send you the video afterwards.
Oh yeah. Because I would like to promote it also through my YouTube. That's actually you guys having this kind of project to helping us. So and in order, maybe some of the Indonesian helpers next move they have interest, they could find you guys.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So we will publish some of the findings anonymously
Yeah.
on the university website
Sure.
or whatever platform we're going for. So just to let
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you
okay.
very much.
Thank you very much again. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.